A Baghdad diplomat is standing on a riverbank in Russia. 921 AD. He's on a diplomatic mission. Routine, political. Then he sees them. Tall, tattooed neck to fingertip, armed. Blonde and red-haired strangers, loading boats with furs, weapons and human beings. He stared. They stared back. Ahmad ibn Fadlan, scholar, servant of the most powerful empire in the world, wrote down everything he saw, because he couldn't believe it. These weren't the Vikings, you know. These were the ones nobody taught you about. Forget the horned helmets. While some Norsemen sailed west and burned English monasteries, others went east, into Russian forests, through frozen swamps, down unmapped rivers, toward a world so rich it didn't seem real. They weren't raiding, they were hunting silver. In the Viking Age, silver wasn't just money, it was power. You couldn't deposit loyalty in a bank, you bought it in silver. A king with silver built armies. A nobody with silver became somebody. And far to the south, more silver than the north had ever imagined. Baghdad, capital of the Abbasid Caliphate, one of the greatest cities on earth. Trade routes reaching China, India, North Africa, the Mediterranean. The Vikings didn't care about Baghdad's philosophers. They cared that silver was moving through that world. And they wanted a cut. The route east was brutal. Cross the Baltic, push into Eastern European rivers. When the water ran out, drag the ships overland through mud. Men sweating, weapons drawn, every bend a potential ambush. They carried furs, wax, honey, amber, and slaves. Human beings taken in raids, sold south like cargo. What they got back were dirhams, Islamic silver coins, small, bright, covered in Arabic script they couldn't read. Didn't matter. Silver is silver. These Norse traders picked up a name out east, the Rus. Not merchants, not pirates, both. Armed men who could negotiate across a table one moment and draw a sword the next. They fought, they traded, they ruled, they built the foundation of what would eventually become Russia. Back to that riverbank. Ibn Fadlan had travelled months to reach the Volga, expected politics, expected cold weather. He did not expect the Rus. He wrote that they were the most physically imposing people he'd ever seen, horrified by their hygiene, baffled by their rituals. Then he witnessed a chieftain's funeral, dead man placed in a ship, animals sacrificed, a slave girl killed to follow him into the afterlife. Then the ship set on fire. Ibn Fadlan watched the smoke rise and asked one of the Rus, "Don't you feel sad?" The man looked at him. "You Arabs put the people you love into the cold ground. We burn them. In an instant they're in paradise. Two worlds. One riverbank, neither able to fully comprehend the other. Here's what makes this undeniable. Across Scandinavia, archaeologists keep finding the same thing. Arabic coins, thousands of them, buried in Viking hoards, cut into pieces for raw silver, worn as jewelry. Some carried so far, no one holding them knew where they were minted. Every coin is a dot on a map showing a trade network running from the Baltic Sea straight into the heart of the Islamic world. Baghdad never sent armies north. Didn't need to. Its silver travelled farther than any soldier. Did Vikings walk into Baghdad itself? Probably not. No blonde warrior strolling into the House of Wisdom with an axe. But their world reached Baghdad's world. Through rivers, through markets, through coins and slaves and fire. The Vikings weren't dangerous because they were simple. They were dangerous because they were adaptable. Raiders, when raiding, paid. Merchants, when trade, paid more. Whatever the world required, they became it. So the next time someone says the Vikings only sailed west, remember the eastern rivers. Remember the Arabic coins buried in Norwegian soil. Remember a Baghdad diplomat on a frozen riverbank, staring at men he had no category for. Some Vikings didn't go west to burn churches. They went east, through the mud, through the cold, chasing the silver of Baghdad.